Hello everyone, welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. We have a beautiful pick a card reading today. Welcome to everybody who is brand new here. If this is the first time you have clicked on this video, welcome, and obviously welcome to everybody else too. So today we are doing What Magic Awaits You in July. We're on the magical theme, keeping life magical. Absolutely. So we're starting off with, definitely the first week of July. We'll be continuing through with other readings for other weeks in July, but we're just getting the understanding of what magic awaits you, what themes will be coming up for you in July, and into the first week. So that's what we will be working with today. So as always, we have three piles. The first pile is Transcendence. We'll be reading the message later on, but the first pile is Transcendence. So that will give you an inkling, that will give you a very clear idea of what's going to be going on for you in February. Where are we? In July. So Transcendence is pile 1. If that's feeling your pile, then that might be your pile. And then for our second pile, we have Earth Guide. So that might be pulling you toward pile 2. And for our third pile, we have No Limitations. So that is our pile 3 for an indication of what to expect. The themes for our upcoming July, which will be coming in a couple of days. So as always, take as much time as you need. There may be various different reasons why you choose a pile. It could be obviously the wording, whatever we've put forward already, knowing what your themes will be from Transcendence, Earth Guide, No Limitations. But maybe it's an energy of each pile, something that draws you in, or a mixture of all. So take as much time as you need. If you need to go ahead and pause the video, feel free to do that. The more you are aligned with your own intuition and grounded into your own power, the more these readings take flight for you and make sense a little bit more and resonate with you. The timestamps will be down below. After you pause the video, we will be back with you. And for everybody else who is still with us, let's just take a brief moment to take a huge breath in. We will just hold for a second and release what no longer serves you, at least for the next 10 or 15 minutes for your reading. And for those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that we always have a magic candle with a candle that's blessed with magic oil for abundance and healing that can be used for healing, activation, releasing what no longer serves you, or pulling in abundance and manifestation. However you want to use it. So that's a little extra vavum for each and every pile. So let's get right into these readings. Let's put aside these cards for now. All right, now if you chose pile 1, you chose the pile for Transcendence. So we are looking at what magic awaits you in July. So we're going to be getting the themes of what's going to be coming up for you in July and concentrating on the first week particularly. So Transcendence, transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. So this is the theme of what's coming in and around you in July, this upcoming month. Let's go ahead and get some oracle cards for you. We're gonna start with these oracle cards first of all. These beautiful love reading oracle cards, and this is going to solidify. Let's get some extra information for your transcendence here. So you've got worthiness and you've got the silver waterfall here. So pile 1, transcendence is your theme. for the month of July all the way through. And it's also about grounding into your own power and deeming yourself worthy. So the main message here, or the main whatever it is that you will be working with in July, is doing the work yourself. Now, you've always done that, but there's a certain amount of you. Well, we've got a little, let's see. First of all, I want to make sure that you saw this beautiful card. So it's also about, for some of you, you have this understanding of how you are in the world in the past and transitioning this into something a little bit different in July. So a lot of projection has been put on you in the past and you've cleared a lot of that. But there's some deep stuff that's coming up for you. And it may be coming in sort of in clusters, so it might feel a little overwhelming. This will dissipate throughout July, so just bear with this energy. And you're going to be coming into a newfound energy in July. But there's some sort of deep wounds that are coming up for some of you. And you may be feeling a little disheartened, thinking, oh my goodness, we've gone through this, what the hell, what's going on? And you have gone through it, you have healed it. As we say here on this channel all the time, there's really no need to go down the rabbit hole and work on yourself constantly. We're constantly working on ourselves, and you're definitely the sort of person that constantly wants to evolve and move forward, and this is absolutely true of you. But it's not necessary all the time to go back and dig through everything. So that's why you're a little bit surprised when this sort of deep core stuff comes up, and it's connected to your worthiness and how you feel worthy in the world. You're extremely creative and you're extremely talented in whatever it is that you do. And most of you have an idea of your blueprint of what it is that you want to do in specifics. Now, a lot of you, even if you don't know what that looks like, or you're feeling kind of lost as to how to get there, it really doesn't matter, because the universe is going to step in and help you. This is really all about you just sort of reclaiming what it is that you want to do and having the confidence to take that first baby step. Now, you'll be taking that first baby step, and it'll be very different for each one of you, because obviously these are general readings. It'll be different for all of you, but you will be taking those steps. You will be stepping up in July, particularly in the first part of July, because you won't feel as though there's any time to lose. And don't underestimate the baby steps. They're going to lead to bigger steps as they move forward. But this is really about how you see yourself and how other people see you. Now, generally speaking, what's happened for you, Pawan, is because you've been projected upon so much, and people have even used you as a way to sort of feel better about themselves, which is not a very nice thing to do one way or another. Not to be judgmental, but we can be objective here and still say that's not a very nice thing to do. Now, what you've done in the past is when you've looked at yourself, you often take those things into consideration, and you often sort of see yourself sometimes through the guise of the external and through the way that people have seen you. But we want to suggest something else for you. We know that you've been projected upon many times, and we also know that there's a way that you have been treated in the past that's not been as high up as it could be. And sometimes you've laden, or you've paralleled your self-worth based on how you've been treated in the past, which hasn't been that great. So there's still remnants of that going on, which we're just going to push through in July. And this is what we're going to suggest for you. For as many people who have treated you not so great and has projected upon you to make themselves feel better, like people have projected upon you to sort of put yourself down so they can get a little bit more of a leverage up, make themselves feel better. And this is what insecure people do. But if it's done in a very powerful way, it can really make you feel bad, though. And we're not taking away from that. And we know that in the past this has happened to you. And we know in the past that there's a little bit of your worthiness has been connected to that, just because you've got a very pragmatic side to your personality. It's not that, you're ready to listen to everything, that you are ready to listen to everything that everybody says, but you don't always take everything in. But when people start, when a certain percentage of people are treating you a certain way, then there's something that the mind does, and it takes it in and goes, maybe this is true, maybe this isn't true. And for you, you may not have realized, but you've taken in this information and sort of started judging yourself based on how the external has judged you. Well, that is shifting, and we want to say that what if you really looked at the way other people have treated you? Because there have been quite a few people who have treated you throughout your life really amazingly and who have looked up to you. But you tend to not take that as seriously because maybe that doesn't happen as much, or you tend to doubt that when that comes along. And we've said this before, but there'll be like 10 positive things that people say about you, and the one negative thing is the one that you harp on, you know? And sometimes it's good to do that because you want to look at the negative thing and see if it's validating, if there's something that you need to shift. Take in the information. There's nothing wrong with that per se. You are the type of person that takes in a lot of information and wants to sort of source it through, but you'll harp on it, and you'll get obsessed with that one part. And we're suggesting in this beautiful lifetime starting in July that there have been a lot of people throughout your life who have complimented you and wanted to be around you and have looked up to you, and you don't take those people as seriously, or those compliments as seriously as you do the negative ones, and there's no reason not to. So if you are going to judge yourself, right, on the external, what's been said about you and how you've been treated, if you're going to calibrate some of your worthiness from that, we're going to suggest to you something that we want you to take seriously. Please calibrate only the positive things that people have said about you. And we want you to go back, if you can, and see when this has happened. Maybe you've taken this situation or this person or whatever they said for granted, or you've played it down in the moment, or you didn't take it as seriously as you could. But we want you to go back and put yourself into every situation where somebody's paid you a compliment or somebody's looked up to you in some way, whether you took it seriously or not in the moment. We want you to gather all of those moments, almost like walking through a field, putting all those moments in your basket, and we want you to concentrate only on those in July. Now, it's really important that you do this. Now, of course, it's up to you what you do and what you don't do. This is absolutely just a suggestion. And normally we would say to you, it doesn't really matter what the external thinks of you. It's only a matter of what you think of yourself. But is that entirely possible? We live in a world where we want connection. We live in a world where, connection is absolutely the one thing that we're here above anything else, love and connection, to be loved. So it's not entirely a brilliant thing to say to somebody, well, yeah, just do it yourself, get that inner love, get that inner. I mean, what does that mean? This is a practical way for you to get that worthiness, to gather that worthiness, to gather it on your own terms, but do it from the external. Don't be worried about doing it from the external. Yes, because once you pull that in and integrate it into your soul, it becomes part of you, and then it becomes part of that self-love stuff. But sometimes the self-love actually comes from the external, the energy that we put out and we get back, and then we feel it, and then we understand what love is, and from that we can assess what love is and bring it into self-love. Not everything is done just from the solo body, just from the heart, just from the interior. Sometimes we have to test from the exterior too and bring it in. Now, this would be an excellent way for you to project and get out that transcendence that you want and will be moving towards in July, particularly the first week of July, by gathering up again every single beautiful thing that's been said about you. And there'll be, instances where you completely forgot somebody said that. Going through your emails, you got this great email, something that somebody said, and you again, in the moment, you may not have taken it as seriously, but we want you to go back and take them all seriously and gather every single aspect of that and integrate that into your soul. And we want you to believe everything that everybody said that was nice about you because they were being genuine. We want you to believe that and begin this new process for you of ultimate worthiness. And this is how you are going to transcend the old of not feeling worthy for what you want in this world. You're getting ready for big things out there, big opportunities coming in. So these These feelings of unworthiness usually, to this extent, usually come up in this dramatic fashion before the universe hands you something pretty big. So this is just part and parcel of what you're doing. But we want you to really understand how talented and how brilliant you are. Now, for some of you, it's going to feel a little egotistical. It's going to feel a little arrogant because it's so far away from the way that you've been operating before. You're very quick to pump other people up about how brilliant they are, but you won't do it for yourself. You have moments of it. You click into moments of, oh, wow, I'm really good at this. But then you don't keep that momentum. We want you to have that momentum grounded into your foundation and know it. Even if it feels egotistical, even if it feels arrogant, even if it just doesn't feel like you, it feels a little bit foreign, we don't care. We want you to do it because you are that brilliant. And then if you stay with that energy, it will manifest as confidence and it won't feel like arrogance anymore. In the past, you've attracted dramatic people and you've even attracted arrogant people. And when they start with this kind of arrogance, this is something that you don't want to be. So you almost turn 180 away from it completely and utterly. So you don't act like that. And that's the reason why, you've taken humble to the next step. You've taken it too far. So that's why you tend to stay or detract from it or detract from compliments. But we want you to realize that you're never going to be like that, and sometimes arrogance is what it is. Sometimes it's charming. Sometimes it's, whatever. It depends on the person. But regardless of that, you're not going to sound arrogant. But we want you to get that confidence. We want you to put your 2 feet in there and go get that confidence, even if it feels like arrogance at the beginning. Tried and tested. Go in and find out. Even in your emails, your letters, all of your memories, seek out all of this when somebody else has said that, and again, ground it into your experience of being you, and then hold that energy regardless of how arrogant you feel it might make you. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Now, also for some of you, this may not resonate with all of you, but for some of you, you want to keep this sort of facade of being humble because there are a few of you out there who are afraid of really understanding how brilliant you are, because you are actually very good at what you do. You're brilliant, and there's other people in the field in and around you, and there's a part of you that fears success. You don't fear failure, by the way. Some of you may have thought that you feared failure, but you actually put yourself in so many different situations. You've risen and you've fallen so many times. It's really success that you're afraid of. And the main reason why you're afraid of success, not because you don't think that you deserve it really deep down. It's not that. It's because you think that if you get to a certain level, that some people in and around you will think that you're arrogant, will think, who is this person? And they'll start treating you like that. Even for some of you, and this is pushing it a little further, but again, this part doesn't resonate. It doesn't. You might feel as though you might lose members of family and friends if you get to that level of success. So there's a part of you that really subconsciously wants to keep you humble, but it's, you're going to be humble anyway, but you've taken humble too far. We want you stepping into your confidence no matter what it looks like. It's going to even out anyway. You're never going to be arrogant. You're just not. But even if it feels arrogant at the beginning, as you're moving into claiming this confidence, it will level out. But this is what we want you to do. So you're transcending into this no limitations. You're transcending into what it is you're supposed to do. Grabbing that confidence. When you meet new people, and you will be doing this in July, we're all getting out there now. We're all integrating back into the world. It's a wonderful thing. This is just the beginning. When you go in for these new opportunities coming in, we want you confident going in, knowing that you absolutely deserve everything that you've asked for, right? So this is the beginning of that. We want to get you ready for it. Let's see what else we have in these oracle here. So we have expectations. Don't seek anyone else's approval. Absolutely. So this is the way, as we said at the beginning, just to reiterate, this is the way that you don't seek other people's approval. We said that most people do actually, and this is what you've done with the external in the past, but you've taken it on in the negative way. Everything that negative has been done to you, you've taken it on and integrated that in some way for your level of acceptance. And this is the way that you're literally turning it on its head, doing a 180, bringing in the same frequency to negate what else happened before. So instead of pulling in the negative as you did before and then saying, well, if everybody's treating me like this, then maybe there's something to it. Not concentrating on that anymore. Bringing in all the positive things and then integrating it. And then that literally cancels out anything that's been negative. Now, if there's anything that's been negative that's been said to you in the past and you felt as though you could improve on this is something that you needed to do. You took that in to your subconscious and you worked with it in a very conscious way. So you were always up for redemption. If somebody came to you and you were like, all right, you've got a point. I should have done this better. I should have done. You've always done that. You extract the truth from everything and you work with it. But this is just the negative. We're negating the negative. We're canceling out the negative now by bringing in all the positive things that people have said. And that's what we said. That's how you gain the true trust of yourself. That's how you gain the full-on self-confidence and self-worth here. And then you will not compare yourself. That's when you're not looking for expectations. That's when you're not looking for approval from the external. This is a very valid way for you to be able to do this in the month of July. So we have acceptance and we have nurture. Absolutely. So this is all about accepting yourself as you are, but it's also about seeing yourself as you really are. Let's pull this in so you can see everything. Seeing yourself as you really are. And honestly, as you really are, you've not really seen yourself properly as you really are, cleansing your past here, because you've taken on other people's negativity about yourself. And again, we want to remind you that very often, when people project upon you, it's very much about them and not about you. But again, with your practical mind, if this happens often, your practical mind's going to say, well, if this is happening all the time, it must be me. It must be me. I'm the common denominator, right? So again, leveling that out and getting you to a real firm level of acceptance where you accept every aspect of yourself, move into that confidence and getting your really firm foundation for these new opportunities coming in. So nurturing yourself goes along with it. We hope you realize this. Nurturing yourself goes along with accepting every part of yourself, which means that you ask yourself every day. These are practical things that you can do. You don't have to do them. We're giving you them as suggestion of support. What does my soul want me to do today? What do I want to do? Take note of your energy level every day. Check in with your emotionality every day. How do I feel? Why do I feel this way? And prioritize based on your emotionality. That's how you're going to get where you need to go really quickly, especially in the first week of July, and getting into that momentum for July, because the opportunities are going to be coming in for you mid to later on in the month. So how do I feel this way? How do I feel? What do I need to do? And prioritize your feelings. Obviously there's a certain amount that we need to do, right? But if you can put that off and do this because my soul wants to go for a walk right now, listen to that. Prioritize how you feel. This is going to help you integrate your inner child. This is going to help you listen to your inner monologue. And we want your inner monologue this month, again, for the first, setting you up for the rest of the month. We want your inner monologue to be positive. We want it to be confident, and we want it to be free of your past. So that's one way of doing that. So let's go ahead and get you some tarot here. And I'm going to read this one more time for you. Transcendence. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. So that's the other part of it too, letting your soul truly shine. And the way in which you do that is you see everything about yourself that's worth celebrating. So again, probably said it 6 or 7 times now, but we're not going to let up. Everything that everybody said about you that was brilliant, gather it in your basket and go ahead and celebrate all of it, because every single one of those people meant it. All right, let's get you 3. Let's see what we've got here for you. And this is your magic. Your magic is coming into your own personal power. And this is doing it on your own terms. So this is wonderful here. We have the 6 of Cups coming in, Look at that sweet little face. So we have the Six of Cups. Those are your opportunities coming in later in the month. Two, and we also have the Pentacles here. We have the Ten of Pentacles coming in. More opportunities coming in. So you're getting ready to move into these opportunities here. And we have the Emperor too. So this is beautiful masculine energy coming in. These opportunities are coming in for you later on in the month. Let's see if we can put these here. Oh, there's a big rainstorm going on outside, if you can hear that. So these opportunities are coming in, and this is you, the Emperor, too. Really working with your emotionality again, putting it front and center. That's really going to help you at the beginning of this July, but also getting in with that divine masculine, the divine feminine, really having that divine magical masculine energy stepping up and saying, this is who I am. I am ready to do this, and getting that confidence coming in. So remember to, feel how you feel. And we do offer practical advice and support here on this channel, because that's, kind of what we do. So take note of this reading. And if it feels like something that you want to do, and, do that exercise of gathering up all that information and all those beautiful things that people said about you, then go ahead and do that. But really ground into the power of you. It's going to be the internal you grabbing into that power. But we want you to remember all those external beautiful things that have happened, because sometimes you can get into this loop of looking at the negative, and you're a practical person. So when you look at the negative, you're looking at it with a critical eye, because you want to transform it. You're not always looking at it because you think it's terrible or anything dramatic like that. And that's perfectly reasonable. That's a very human way of seeing things. But we're suggesting that sometimes when you shine the light on the negative, and you keep shining the light on the negative, you're not giving it any space, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't have any chance. It doesn't have that space to be able to transcend and transform. So this is your month for really focusing on the positive, leaving the negative stuff behind, because you've already focused on that. Focusing on the positive, and only the positive this month, and really getting yourself in the alignment of just focusing on that positive. Now, your mantra could be, considering that we are looking at magic this month, what magic can I expect today? Get that into your head, your mantra. Do it first thing in the morning. What magic can I expect today? And expect magic at every level and every part of your life. And every day as you do this, keep saying it and keep expecting it, and keep with that positivity, not in that real crappy sort of spiritual, just love and light, not dealing with anything. Not at all. You've done the negative stuff. You've dealt with everything else, but we want you to focus on the positive now, because all of that other stuff that's trying to transform just needs a little bit of space. And if you just focus your energy just on the positive, especially at the beginning of this month, you are going to feel worthy. You are going to feel confident to move into these new opportunities that are coming in for you this July. So this is what we have for you, Pile 1. Don't forget that we also have another reading. Which magical creature has a message for you that was uploaded a couple of days ago? Always check in with your intuition, but if you haven't checked that out, you might want to check that out too. That might give you a little extra inspiration, a little extra information, seeing as it was done, it was recorded so close to July coming in, so we're still working with the same universal energy. Check that out. I will link that link below. We are sending you so much love and support exactly where you are, exactly who you are right now, and looking forward to you going to get your life in July and really stepping into that beautiful confidence that you're absolutely owed, because you're already talented. You're just acknowledging who and what you already are. So go be you. We will see you soon. Stay safe and sane, Pile 1. Okay, Pile 2, if you chose Earth Guide, what magic awaits you in July? So your Earth Guide, your theme for the month, Earth Guide, your sacred calling upon this planet, it's to simply love and be loved. So your theme and magic will revolve around in July. to love and be loved, absolutely, and just to concentrate on love one way or another. So this is generally throughout July, but also this will be particularly on the first week of July, setting the tone for the rest of the month. So let's start off with a couple of these oracles, which will give us more information about what's going on here. Yin and Yang, and then forgiveness. So see what we've got here too. So there's a celebration being told here. There's a celebration pall too for you about how far you've come and the balance that you have. There's a lot more peace in your life than you had before. There's a lot more of a need. There's particularly because you've had to learn boundaries. They may have come at you in a way that you really had to learn them, but you know, being able to sort of put the BS aside a little bit more and just say, I'm not doing this. You're not quite exactly where you want to be. Is anyone ever, really, when they think about it? But when it comes to boundaries, you've absolutely been there, and there is a celebration of the balance that you have coming into your life. Again, when you look around your life, we want you to be really cognizant of how far you've come, and the energy that's in and around your immediate circle now is very different to what it was before. And we also want you to get into the mode of there's forgiveness that will be coming up too. Now, for some of you, this is going to go deep, deep, deep back. We always say in this channel, I've always said, and I do maintain this, there's many different ways to heal. And it's not always necessary to forgive the other person, especially if the situation has been really terrible. I think one of the worst things that we can say to somebody who's been abused is, you know, in order to forgive, you need to, you know, in order for you to heal, you need to forgive your abuser. Absolutely don't believe that. We need to meet people exactly where they are. Now, if you're in a position of forgiving, that's totally wonderful. But at least initially, it's not, you know, there's ways for you to cut the cords. There's ways for you to remove yourself, even energetically, from that situation, and still do a certain amount of a considerable amount of healing from that without having to forgive. You know, it's okay to say you did a terrible job and I'm not going to pretend that you didn't, you know, but I'm removing myself from this and I'm healing on my own accord. I don't need this energy anymore. So, but here's the thing, you've already done that, and this is going to be a really, really not necessarily an intense time for you, but a lot of you are ready to do that deep forgiving work of going back. You've already done that, cutting the cords, doing this, and now you're ready to sort of go in and forgive. Now, for those of you who are already resonating with this, you probably have a situation or a person in mind where you realize there is a level of deep healing that you are absolutely on the precipice of, and you're ready to do this forgiving. Now, it will be on your own terms. It does not need to be done face to face. In some circumstances, it's not able to be done face to face. This person is no longer around. They may have even passed on. But there's a level of forgiveness that's coming in that you're ready to do right now. Now, it doesn't mean to say that you need to take on any of the emotionality necessarily that goes along with the situation that you're forgiving them for, although emotionality will be coming into this. But there is a deep level of healing that's coming in for you that you're ready to do, and you will be doing it on your own terms, and we firmly stand behind you doing that. But you are ready at the level that you're at to be able to do that. And this is a way for you. This forgiveness, we can say, is still on your own terms, simply because that when you forgive at this level, you really can, as we say, you know, flip the lid on this and definitely pull this away, you know, push this away, and it's absolutely done. So this is a way for you to put the lid on it and be done with the situation with this level of forgiveness. And you will know how to do this, when to do this again. It will be on your own terms. So again, for some of you, it will reach deep. It will be a little bit of emotionality attached to it, but it won't be bringing up the emotionality of the past in order to be able to do this. But this is going to be a really huge release for you. And from that, you will feel that release. You will feel that space in your life. There's a lot of energy that's been given to this in the past. So by forgiving forgiving, you are cutting off that very last cord, and in that space that you've allowed yourself from that forgiveness part of it, you will be having a much deeper capacity to love yourself. So again, this goes really, really deep for you. And for some of you, you never thought you would be in a position to even want to forgive this person one way or another. So this is, this is something that you may have, this is something that you may have decided that you were going to do recently, or maybe this is just following a thread of healing, and you're at that level now where you're ready to deep dive into this and to be able to do this. But whatever it is and however you handle it, which will be very much on your own terms, and we don't want to tell you how to handle it because that's your own private business, but however you handle it, it's going to set the precedence for a really huge catalyst, which allows for a really deep level of healing that will occur probably at the beginning of July. When you decide to do it will be up to you. But most of you are ready to take the leap now, mainly because many of you feel as though you're sort of on the edge of the cliff anyway, and this is just the natural move forward. So there is this situation presents this catalyst for you to move forward and to gain that peace that you've been looking for, and to really be able to cut that cord once and for all. And again, that space that you're left with, you can fill with love. You can actually start to see yourself very differently once you cut yourself from this situation. So this is a beautiful thing for you to do. Again, it's taken you a while to get here because everybody takes a certain amount of time to do this. Now, we're not suggesting, this reading in any way takes away doctor visits or this, that, the other. We'd never suggest it. But you might find as you move through the month of July that if you start doing this process at the beginning of July, that seemingly things in your body that started to take place might actually sort of dissipate in a way. And for some of you, that will happen in sort of incredible ways. Sometimes it'll be smaller, sometimes it'll be larger. Because that's stored energy from this situation. And once that cord is cut, your body is free. Again, it has that space to completely heal and allow in that energy of healing, because your frequency will rise up and will no longer be able to carry that frequency of what energy, that sort of darkness that was being held within. So for some of you, it's even sort of in the jawline, even throat, but definitely stomach stuff, or even lower back, that sort of thing, but in that vicinity. So, and for some reason, feeling shoulders too, for some reason, holding energy in your shoulders, right and left shoulder. So, that is happening for you, for your earth guide. And again, this is all part of you being that earth guide and moving forward. But we want to be very clear. We're not suggesting, if any of you are hearing this and you're not in any way ready to move forward to do this, we're not suggesting that you do. This is something that you need to be ready for to do. And as we said at the beginning, to reiterate, you don't have to in order to heal. It's just come up in this reading for Pal 2. So let's see what else we have for you here. So you have spiritual quest. Let's move these forward. And you have divine support, and you have lioness. You've earned all your stripes. Absolutely. So this is you moving into a level of new consciousness, really. And this is for you to, for some of you, it's, how do we say it? You've always been quite serious. Once you're focused, you can even over-focus, Pal 2, but you've always been quite serious. So it's for us to say, oh, you're going to get quite serious in July, it sort of defeats the purpose, because most of you be like, yeah, no, I already know that. But you're going to be very focused in July, particularly at the beginning of July, about moving yourself forward. And normally what you do is you sort of have a bigger picture. You're daydreamers, you've got that emotionality, you're very deep thinkers. And you always have that sort of dreamlike element of the far off in the background. But you're very focused on moving forward, next step, do this, do that. There's a practicality to you that's moving forward. Now, this might seem counterproductive. to you, but we're gonna put it out there and see how you feel. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But we're gonna suggest to you in July to get that magic, have that magic happen in July, particularly the first week, which is the week that we're concentrating on. We want you to think of everything in the objective. We want you to think macro, not micro. We want you to think big terms. Everything's big terms. And we want you not to necessarily worry or think about the small baby steps. We just want you to intuit the next phase moving forward, moving forward. So we want you to think big in July. We want you to think big, and we want you to get to the point where, and again, you're freeing up whatever it is that you're doing and however it is that you're forgiving, and that's your own private business, is going to free you up for this really firm, gracious foundation of self-security and moving forward. So with that firm platform moving forward, we want you to move forward with objectivity, but we want you to think really big and keep that energy with you all month while you make your decisions, even if you're baby stepping it forward, which is perfectly normal, because sometimes we're on the rung of the ladder. We just want to do these baby steps so you can move up the ladder. If you try to go too big too quickly, we can just get into a whole whirlwind of frustration. So baby steps is where it's at. But even when you take the baby steps, we want you to take the energy of dreaming big with you at every level. How far, what can we go? And we want you to ask yourself, how far is it far enough? Am I going far enough? Am I asking for enough? Could I go further? We want you to think limitless. This is your month of thinking limitless. And even if you are moving forward with these baby steps, we want you to run parallel with thinking big, dreaming big, but leave the details. Move forward, absolutely, but leave the details to the universe. Knowing that you have that divine support, know that the universe is actually moving you forward in a very specific way to give you something that's a little bit bigger than you've asked for. You may not know what it looks like yet. That's why we want you to think limitless and allow for that magic to be delivered to you in some way, shape, or form, particularly in the middle to later on in July. And we want you to know that you absolutely deserve it in your own way, because these are general readings for you. So you've all done this very differently. But you've all achieved so much in your life. We want you to look back and celebrate those achievements and how far you've come. You've changed from 5 months, 8 months, 10 years, 10 months, completely different people. You've probably been 10 or 15 different people already. But we want you to really hone in on the fact of who you are right now. It's so far different to anything you've ever been. And this is literally just the beginning. The peace that you feel now is very different to anything that you've ever had. And there's an inkling of you when you have those small moments, these quiet moments, more like, not necessarily small moments, they're quite big moments actually, but when you have these quiet moments, you can actually feel what it would be like to have what it is that you've asked for. You can really feel it. You've popped in to those timelines. You've popped out too, but you've popped into those timelines. You absolutely know what it is. This is the month of magic for you, where you pop into those timelines and pull those timelines into your current timeline. So getting you ready for this, freeing up that space for love, for self-love, getting that confidence, that power and that confidence to you, and keeping the macro element, that divine order, really, really open, dreaming big, everything big. Even when you're taking those baby steps, you're thinking big, keeping everything really expansive this month, keeping everything positive, keeping your mind positive if you can. You tend to talk yourself out of things sometimes. You'll start off with a really great idea and then you'll come up with 10 reasons why it won't work. None of that rubbish. This month, particularly the first week, we just want you to think big and not worry about the details. It sounds silly, but don't worry about the details, because believe it or not, you've worked on the details. So much so that you've not left any room for them to be delivered. So that's why we want you to really deliver on the macro and not the micro this month, and allow in that energy of divine support. Your beautiful angels are at the door, like knocking. They want you to open the door, but we want you to open it up. Open everything up. Keep everything open. Okay, let's see what we have for you in tarot also. for this month, but this is going to be a very exciting month for you. It may feel a little slow coming for some of you coming into July, but it won't end slow. It's definitely not going to. We've got a few things going on. Let's see if it comes up again. It did flip over, but when they flip over with a ton of them, I don't always think that that's the card we want. So let's get you 3. All right, these 2 did come out together, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Oh, we've got a few. Ooh, we've got a few. All right, here we go. What's this one? All right, so you've got the Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Let's put the Queen of Cups down there. You've got the Moon. Absolutely. Gorgeousness. You've got the Ace of Pentacles. See, something's coming in for you, something big. And then you've got the 3 of Cups here. So you've got the 3 of Cups and you've got the Queen of Cups. All right. So we've got the 3 of Cups coming in. This is the beginning of the month. You clearing out, doing what you need to do. Now you've got the Queen of Cups coming in. Again, we talked about working with your emotionality or working with how you feel at the time. And also we talked about keeping it huge, keeping it big, even with the baby steps. You know, how am I? You know, how am I feeling? What am I doing? Let's keep the dream big. Let's keep everything limitless. And also mastering this emotionality, this beautiful emotionality that you have, and channeling it in a way. You are an earth guide doing that, and channeling it through the area of love, which you have space for this month. And also these messages, this is definitely a message time for you. Your guides are trying to speak to you. They may try to be speaking to you through dreams. A lot of you have been having some really dreams coming in. Now some of it's old stuff coming up and letting it go. And some of it's just coming through your subconscious, and some of it is coming up for you to release it, to allow you to give you the information that you need so you can, you can release it once and for all. But some of it's full on messages. It's your energy coming in. It's the energy of who you work with, all of your beautiful guides coming in here and trying to give you energy. Sometimes you cut them out because you're go, and they're coming into your dreams. Now this could also be for some of you, I kept hearing massages, like when you relax. You don't even have to necessarily meditate, but when you have those quiet moments, these ideas that are coming in, there's going to be many of these ideas that sort of come in sort of like grease lightning here. You're being asked to absolutely work with them. Write down these ideas, act on these ideas. This is time for you to move forward. Something is coming in for you that's pretty big, that's coming to fruition for you. You either hear back from a project that you finished up, or you finish up a project, or something that's been out there will be coming in. For some of you, there'll be contracts that will be signed or moving in that direction. But you are definitely at the beginning of the month, in the same way as Pile 1, but very different energy. You are getting leveled up for something that's coming in for you. And it's something that you've had out there for a while. So it's just a matter of gaining that practice of being out there and dreaming and thinking big. And that's really what they want for you this month. Dreaming big. Even if you take those baby steps, remember to listen to your intuition. Listen to your emotionality. They are going to be your compass, your guiding point, in the same way as Pile 1. They are going to be your compass for this month of moving forward. Act on those ideas that are coming up. And even if you're taking those baby steps, think completely organically, out of the box even. Really get into that quirky sense of adventure. So it's really adventurous this month for you, keeping everything alive and every way of doing things alive. A really expansive mentality here. And also a way for you to really hone into your emotionality. You feel everything. You sense everything. So once you work on the first part of that, forgiving, whatever it is that you need to do to free up some of that energy at the beginning of July, you will be free in that space to really utilize every emotion that you have, because it makes you so sensitive in the world, but it also makes you sensitive to like a vibration of a spider web. Keep seeing that. So any kind of vibration, you'll be able to feel it. And those vibrations that you'll be sent on, this is what we want you to do next. You'll be able to pick up on them really, really easily. So this is a month, if you listen to your intuition and move it forward, which you will be doing, pal, too, you'll be able to move forward in the way and get some serious results this month. So that's what we have for you, pal, too. And do not forget, I think a couple of days ago I uploaded another video, another reading, which magical creature has a message for you. Now, because that was channeled so closely to July, if you have not checked that out already, I will put that down below. You might find some extra information in there, so I urge you to check it out. You're going to have a fabulous month. Stay positive and remember to keep everything completely expansive. Love, love, love for you. Sending so much support for you wherever you are, whoever you are in this very, very moment. You stay safe and sane. Enjoy July, especially the first week, and we will see you very soon. Stay safe and sane, pal 2. Bye-bye. Okay, pal 3, this is your reading. What magic awaits you in July? So this is the theme of your month. No limitations. You are a celestial being with unlimited potential. There is much for you to share. So this is sort of your theme of the month. And carrying on with the theme of the month, we have these oracle cards, and we will move on and get you some more information. Let's get right into your reading. We have inner peace and boundaries. Wonderful. So as always we say in these readings, you know, when you channel at a certain time, obviously there's usually a certain amount of energy that's going on, the collective energy in the collective space out there. And of course we say that there's usually a red thread that goes through pile 1, 2, and 3, even though there are very different energies. So I do urge you to choose a pile if you so want to, because there are different energies. However, you do have so much in common with pile 1 and pile 2, but already I can feel different energy. But it really is very much for you with this no limitations, but this is about the sense of coming back, not just to yourself, but grounding into your own energy. There is a proclamation, pile 3, that's happening. And I keep seeing this sort of vision of you. Let's move this there so you can actually see it. It's not in the light. This is the month, should you decide that you step up and say, all right, I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready. I am absolutely ready for the next step. There's been times where you've said that before and, you thought you were ready, but, there were certain things that you were doing, maybe what you were asking for, you weren't quite in line with it yet. And you were still working with that pragmatic sense of self, which is totally human. We all do it. But, sometimes we use practicality in a way that sort of, it hinders our advancement in a way, because the ego is saying, we need to do this, that, and the other, and let's get practical, let's get this, and, but we want to be doing this. Yeah, but rent needs to be paid, this, that, and the other. Of course it does. But the practical element sometimes can really hit in there, and it can hinder how we're moving forward. So it feels as though you've said this before, but you are absolutely ready. And it doesn't mean in the past when you've said it before that you wouldn't have moved forward. But you're ready for everything that you've asked for. You're absolutely ready for it now. Now, for some of you, this could be scaring you a little bit because you can actually feel you're on the verge of it. As we said in pile 1, and you definitely have this extra, and you have this energy, you can feel it, you might want to check out pile 1 too. Always listen to your intuition. It's very much up to you what you do, but you might get some more information from pile 1. But you're not afraid of this, what we said in pile 1. You're not afraid of failing in any way, shape, or form. You may have thought that you were afraid of failing, but actually you're afraid of success. You're afraid of getting what you want. And you're afraid of getting what you want because deep down you know you're going to get it. You see, you have a very powerful blueprint on this earth, pile 3, but you also know that you're here to actually deliver. You know that you're here to gain what it is that you've asked for, because you can also feel all of your other past lives activated into this new life here. So you know that you have all the experience to be able to move into that line of prosperity that you've asked for in this lifetime. You're not asking out of the sphere of what you're able to obtain. You know you're able to obtain it. The thing is for you that you've asked for something so big, it's now upon you now. And so there's a level of sort of excitement. There's a level of deep fear. There's a level of leveling up to how you feel about success, because you are afraid that you're going to get it. You not really afraid necessarily that you won't be able to maintain that level of brilliance once you get it. Not really. But you're not used to being in the limelight. You sort of orchestrated your life in a way that even if you are in the limelight, you're able to pull back from the limelight whenever you want and sort of disappear. You know, you've leveled up your life in a way that you've been able to do things on your own terms, and you still will be able to do things on your own terms. No one's saying that you won't. But there's a part of you that's been able to do this from the sidelines looking in. You've got that hermit aspect to you. And in that way, you've been able to shield yourself. You've been able to protect yourself. Now, when you get out there, and of course, when you have this level of success, you won't be able to do that as much. But that's okay. That's okay. That's, if we're breaking it down, why you're a little bit nervous about the success. That's for you. That's why it is. It was a slightly different reason in Pile 1. But Pile 1's reason may resonate with you also. But it feels as though you've grown out of that a little bit. Yours is more like you've really loved this sort of kind of private life that you have, and that's really because in many past lives that the knowledge that you had to keep secret, you had to keep sacred. It was actually dangerous for you to bring it out. So there's still a part of you that's like, if I put myself out there, but actually in this lifetime that doesn't apply for you. So this level of limelight, yeah, of course you're going to trigger people. Of course there's going to be trolls. There's going to be this, that, and that, but who cares? It really doesn't matter. None of that is going to make any difference to you. They're not going to have any power over you whatsoever. And this is something that you've had to learn. You've had this balancing act with boundaries. Now, you've had to learn boundaries. It's been your hindrance. It's not something that you sought out to learn necessarily for most of you. Most of you had to learn it. It was literally a matter of life and death in some ways. And sometimes you didn't actually learn it. Boundaries came in and taught you a lesson, and you were forced to listen. So you know those boundaries, and then you have those boundaries, you have those inner peace. And it brings you inner peace too once you have those boundaries. So you've got these in place. You've got these in place, sort of like the justice here, and it's perfectly aligned with your divine feminine, your divine masculine. So you're being reminded with your no limitations as you move forward. You're ready for a new level of success, which, yes, puts you in front of a bigger audience in some ways, and that will mean different to everybody. Puts you out there in a different way, and it puts you out there in the limelight in a way that you've not had before, certainly. But you also have this element of balance for the boundaries and the inner peace that you will be able to work beautifully and graciously through whatever happens as you move into the limelight. But you are absolutely ready, and this is what you've signed up for. We want to remind you, Pile 3, you signed up for this, and it's not your first rodeo. It says in your blueprints, if you check in with your Akashic records for you, it will say you are going to reach this level of success. You are here to do bigger things. Every single lifetime that you've done has been moving you into this one. It is no coincidence you asked to come down in this lifetime. You asked to be able to do this because you have this wisdom. You have the amount of courage. Look at everything that you've been through. Most people would have crumbled at the things that you've been through. You have an amazing amount of courage. You have an amazing amount of strength. You have an amazing amount of audacity too. You can take anything that people throw at you. You absolutely can, but most people won't be throwing. Most people will be lapping it up. So this is your time. So your magical month, what magic awaits you in July is you moving forward in this way. So we got this vision of you stepping forward and saying to the universe, I'm ready, let's do it. And this time you are ready. Everything is in alignment for you to be ready to move forward. How that looks will be different for each and every one of you for obvious readings. For obvious reasons, this is a general reading. So each and every one of you will have a different path. However, it applies to you differently, but the message is the same for all of you. You are absolutely ready. and you are ready to take that next step. So let's see what we have for you here, what extra stuff we have. Perseverance. Without a doubt, you've had perseverance. You know, if they looked up perseverance in the dictionary, it would show your face. And then we have protection and we have mural. Be your own first priority. So that creative energy, again, you stepping up and saying, I'm ready, I'm going to do this. That's your creativity. There's something that you're going to say to the universe, and you may have already said it, but in the month of July, you'll be acting on it. You may have already said it, or you may be like, this is funny. Yeah, I kind of already know this. But being your first priority is you stepping into that power and saying, I'm ready, I'm going to do this. This is the time. You can feel it. There's a timing element to it. You asked to be here at this time. You volunteered to come down. You have all of this knowledge. You have all of this truth to be able to do it. And again, it'll show differently in many different ways. Some of you may be in the medical field. Some of you will be in creative fields. But you'll be working your truth through all of it and stepping in. So, you know, moving forward into the limelight, it could look like a promotion for some of you. It looks like much more responsibility no matter what it is. And for some of you, it's working for yourself and working creatively, but actually saying, I'm doing this now. I'm doing it and it's going to be a success. But it's something that if you're ready to start, there's already been a hell of a lot of work and energy that's gone into it. It's just a matter of sort of saying, all right, this is it. Let's do it. For some of you, it's your health. But it's also opportunities to move forward. So, but for some of you, it could be your health too. I'm doing this. I'm making this a priority. This is what's going to be done this month. I'm going to do this. But for most of you, it's moving forward in a way that you're going to be in the limelight. Like, I am going to do this. I'm going to step into full responsibility. So it's full responsibility mode. I'm ready to take full responsibility and be out there. You're absolutely protected. You wouldn't be such a powerful soul if you did not have ultimate protection, if you did not have very, very powerful guides that were in and around you, moving you forward in the way. And they've been putting you sort of, you know, I keep getting this vision of a chess board moving you forward in a way. Now, they want to remind you that it's not that you're being manipulated, that they're moving you in certain ways, but they want to remind you that life is a game. It's a game of experience, of getting out there. Some of you have not moved forward because you're afraid of taking the responsibility for the next step. You're not sure if it's the right step for you. They want to remind you that you can't make any wrong decisions. As we've said before on this channel, I keep reminding everybody with all the energy that's out there, you are a sovereign being. Whatever you choose will be right for you. You cannot make a wrong decision. All that experience, you're here to experience everything that you can. You cannot make a wrong decision. Even if you veer off in what you seem might be a wrong direction, it'll eventually even out. You will feel it. Your intuition, you're so clued in with your intuition right now, with this inner peace and boundary, which has created this line of defense for you that you can't go off kilter too much. You know, there was a time in your life when you went off and you did a lot of experiences for the heck of them, and you will still do that. But now you're going to be navigated in a very specific way because you're stepping up to the plate now. But you don't have to worry about it. You're not going to make a wrong decision. Just sit what's right for you. Whatever's right for you will be fine. That's it. They will move you forward. You cannot make a wrong decision. There's no right or wrong. Polarity in 3D world, of course there are rights and wrongs, but for you moving forward, there are no rights and wrongs. Just do it. Feel into your intuition and move forward. You'll be protected, but you're going to be you're going to feel this path that you're on, which will really click in very much in the beginning of July, and you'll feel it. And as you move forward, you will feel that level of responsibility coming in. So before, as we said, you know, you didn't want to take on that level of responsibility because you weren't sure if any of them, if I choose this, then I'm saying no to that, or I can't go in that direction. And there's some of you definitely feel as though, and I sort of know how this feels. It's like, you know, if I choose something, then I'm saying no to something else, and you want all the experiences, you know, and sometimes that can be, you know, we do have to commit to something sometimes, because in that commitment we actually gain something bigger than staying so wide open that so many energies are coming in. So you're being asked this month to choose something. And your intuition will tell you in which way to go. And it will tell you what you want. And you will know, you will feel it, and you will make the right decision for you because you're a sovereign being and nobody owns you. Nobody's controlling you. You're doing this on your own. Even your guardian angels can't, unless you ask them for help. But this is a free will zone on earth. You know, they won't step in and help. They will guide you. They're always there for you, protecting you. But unless you physically ask for help, they're not going to step in and intervene. This is a free will zone. You cannot go wrong. So stepping into your power at the beginning of this month, getting that magic and saying, I'm doing this, I'm ready. And if you genuinely don't know which step to take or this path, say to the universe, like we said, I need help. Send me this really clear idea, understanding of my next step. Let me do this. Let me do this right. I'm ready to do this. And they will step right in and they will do that for you. They will show you the way. Ask them. That's what they're there for. So let's see. We've got some tarot for you here. Moving forward. But this is an exciting... Oh, you've got the Page of Wands coming in. So you've got lots of passion. We've got action coming in. The start of the path coming in. As we've already said, let's see, yeah, we've got a couple more for you. But this is definitely the start of a new beginning in that way. But again, it's not brand new necessarily. 3 of Cups, that's interesting. Because I can't remember which pile picked that, but somebody picked that. And we also have the 6 of Swords coming in and the Knight of Cups. So here you have coming out on the other side of things that have happened to you before, knowing that the way that you've worked before has worked for you thus far, but you're ready to take a new chance doing things and saying, stepping up, let's do it. You've come out, you feel as though you've come out, and you have done, because you're absolutely right in feeling this. You feel as though you've come out sort of on the other side of, you know, your life so far with all the ups and downs and everything that's happened. And you're starting to get the inkling of something great coming in. Now, you know, like everything else, we're not going to sit here and tell you that, you know, people have ups and downs, things happen. You know, we can't sit here and say it's going to be unicorn farts and rainbows and teddy bears for the rest of your life one way or another. But, you know, you can expect great things, though. And the way in which you will deal with your life that'll come along will not feel the same. Also, other things that you will deal with them differently as you did in the past. They won't rip you apart like they did before. Also, the other thing is that you've dealt with this understanding of rejection. That's something that's coming in. If that's the message for you on pile 3, then that's for you. There's a lot of stuff in and around rejection, feeling rejected before. We want to remind you that you weren't ever really rejected. It's just that you keep putting yourself into situations where you desperately wanted to be seen by people who couldn't even see themselves. So what you saw of a level of rejection really wasn't. But you acquired a sort of a fear of rejection one way or another because you were constantly seen as quote unquote rejected. But again, you were putting yourself into spaces that could never see your worth. Again, you're out of that now, so that fear of rejection has moved forward, and this is another reason why you're stepping into this new found level of responsibility, which is very exciting. But you're on the other side of things that have happened to you before, and some of you have been through hell and back, but you're on the other side of that, and you can finally feel that. You have that passion, and that passion is ready to take off now. It's absolutely ready to take off. Sometimes, 5 steps forward, 3 steps backwards. You voom forward, and then something sort of steps in your way and sort of stops you one way or another. Or it feels that way. But you're steadily moving forward, and this is something that you're ready. There's not going to be obstacles in your way anymore. A lot of you put your own obstacles in your way because, again, there was a little bit of fear of success. You weren't ready to be seen yet. And that's because there was still some inner work for you to do because, you wanted to be able to enjoy the limelight when you got out there and to be able to do that and enjoy your life. And there was still some inner work that you wanted to do. And you have every right to decide how you want to do that inner work, and you wanted to do it away from and on your own terms, sort of privately. Some people do their healing very publicly, and it's messy no matter what. A lot of ugly crying, a lot of, the spiritual path is, it's a hell of a path, right? Whether you do it privately or publicly, it's still ugly. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of great things that go with doing it publicly, insofar as you can get a lot more support. You feel more connected to the world while you're doing it. And then you can go into a much deeper level sometimes when you do it privately. There's a payoff in either way. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. But for you, you're stepping forward into this and moving into this newfound level of security and finding that security for yourself, finding that confidence for yourself, and finally inviting in pile 3, this level of success that you know that you deserve. It's almost like you've been teetering on it, but you've been pushing it back. You've been pushing it back. And some of you feel like a little overwhelmed by it. Will I be able to handle it? It's almost like you're blowing it out of proportion. Like, will I be able to handle it? It's almost like it'll be happening to somebody else. It'll be happening to you, and you've handled so many things in your life. Why would you not think that you'd be able to handle something that's absolutely amazing? You have been, again, we want to remind you, moving through this your entire life. You've been ready. You've been ready in many lifetimes, and you will never really know what it's going to look like and how you would handle it until your own 2 feet are in the situation. So instead of trying it on, we're asking you to step to the plate and actually do it, and step out into that level of success in July, at the beginning of July. So remind yourself you have that inner peace. You've definitely got that perseverance. That we already know. That's just telling you already know. You've got that inner peace, which is prompted by your boundaries. And we want to remind you again one last time, no limitations. You are a celestial being with unlimited potential, which we always say on the channel. You are a sovereign being. Nobody owns you. Nobody controls you. Nobody is telling you right or wrong. It's whatever you choose is in alignment with you. You literally cannot go wrong. There's, no us versus them, no nothing. It's all you. You've absolutely got this, pile 3. There is so much for you to share. And remember, stepping up into that level of responsibility, yes, you are choosing something, you are choosing you, but stepping into that level of responsibility and being out there in the limelight means that you can share what you were here to share. You've always been here to share the wisdom that you've gathered over many, many lifetimes. And we can assure you, pile 3, this is the time. This is the time for you to step up and share your truth. The world needs you more than you will ever know, and you will be on the precipice of this in this July. It's a very exciting month for you. So go be you. And as a reminder, just put up a new video, a new reading, which is, it was Which Magical Creature has a message for you. If you have not checked it out, I do urge you to check it out, because it was recorded a couple of days before this, which means we're still coming into July. So it'll have the same universal energy in and around. So if you haven't checked it out already, I will link it below. You may find some extra information in there. And again, if you feel called to, always listen to your intuition. Check in with pile 1 too. You might find some extra information there too. So go be you. Go enjoy, especially this first week, this beautiful July, and step into that amazing power that you've been leading up to. We support you wherever you are, whoever you are in this very moment. Don't you dare change. Until we meet again, you stay safe and sane, pile 3. Bye-bye.